The recent federal government shutdown sent a shudder through the U.S. economy as Wall Street watched anxiously to see whether a deal would be reached while a debt default loomed. Relatively little attention focused on the effect of the shutdown on the international community. In this special report, visiting journalist Asma Mita of independent television in Bangladesh provides a global perspective on the government shutdown.
The United States of America, consisting of 50 states and 313.9 million people, this country has become the icon for the whole world in terms of science, technology, education, lifestyle, and more. But the government shutdown has raised concerns about American domestic budgetary policy. It matters to the rest of the whole world.
We are 24% of the globe's economy. We generate half of the intellectual property in the world. We consume 24% of the world's energy. It is the economic the transactions that make the global economy churn.
Standing on this position, if there is any unusual consequence that happens that affects the entire USA, each and every person has to think about the impact on him or her. Yes, we are talking about the last shutdown of US government.
Our breaking news tonight, the government of the United States of America has shut down.
It started on 1st October and lasted 16 days, the third longest government shutdown in US history. The Department of Agriculture, the E-Verify Employment Eligibility Program, and also the US Postal Service and Office of Inspector General are some of the websites that were offline during the shutdown.
Is there an effect on the economy? We're only in the second day of this.
Talking on this point, lots of statistics might be available because we're trying to find out the economical damages at first. This is the immediate effect as well for the US and the whole world. But the experts are now more concerned about the long-term effect of this shutdown.
The bigger issue is the one of the confidence that other countries have in the U.S. economy going forward. If there's a perception that the U.S. economy is no longer the safe harbor that it's been for a long time, both for financial purposes and economic activity, this could radically alter the nature of business in the world.
When one country plays superpower, then it is their duty to behave responsibly toward others, according to expert Keith Gaddy.
When you are the economic superpower, when you are the principal economic engine, when you have been the principal military arm of most of the world, where you have 142 global governments and 138 of them are your allies, there are expectations of stability and predictability, and we've not met those obligations.
The shutdown's ripple effect. Sunday, an exclusive with the head of the International Monetary
sense of anger and frustration on the part of
International observers are splitting down each and every aspect of this shutdown. And of course, one point is the US being a nerve that affects the entire world. How are they playing like the role model of democracy and good governance?
The question is whether we possess the wisdom and the courage as nation states and members of an international community to squarely meet those challenges.
As far as the image of the United States not being able to get its act together and actually make a decision in a timely manner to keep its government running, and the reputation that we have for preaching good governance and solid, compromise and democratic action within a country is troubling to some of us.
Most importantly, if you look during the shutdown, what the United States has lost quite a significant amount of money. But more importantly, it has lost its standing and credibility to a great extent. If you look particularly during the shutdown, President Obama couldn't attend the APEC summit, which has given China an additional advantage. And increasingly, if the global economy and the global politics cannot actually rely on the United States, that is going to diminish the United States' capacity to influence the global politics and economy.
With one shutdown just over, there is a strong possibility of another one in January. This is considered a great threat to the investors, according to Professor Wilner.
if they don't feel confident about the U.S. future economy, what they'll do is they'll stop putting money into the U.S. as much and spread it out more. The question is, where are they going to go? What is perceived as the next safest economy?
We have to be able to move out of this short-term crisis decision-making mode so that we can spend some time on focusing on, the real problems that we face today and the real problems that others face around the world, or else it will have those longer-term consequences.
The USA has used the term globalization to advocate worldwide. So, as a leader of the globalization era, any internal crisis of the USA, political, economic, or policy issue, affects the world economic and political process. That's the message the recent government shutdown told the rest of the world. Now it depends on the sense of responsibility of USA political leadership to overcome the crisis that is still at risk of happening again in early 2014.